want to show everybody we're heading to Big Grove. We're heading to Big Grove, giant sequoia wilderness area. And it's really bad, man. There is smoke everywhere. There's a fire, and it's worse to the left. We got to go around the mountains to the left. We may not even be able to go there today if the fire is that bad, because it is obviously coming to the south. See, this is the north, not too bad. You start panning to the west, it's smoky, and then you pan all the way over here. And look, you can barely see the mountains. You can barely see the mountains. It's not as bad, but the last 10 miles, there was almost zero visibility as we went through plumes of smoke, which means that the fire is probably centralized within 10 miles of here. But you can see now the mountains look foggy. That's not fog, that's smoke. There is a fire in the area. And on the other side of those mountains to the left, we got to go about 40 miles around them, is where the fire may be. Because we are going to the ghost town of Iowa Hill, which is on the other side, where the North American River Canyon is, and then Big Grove Trees, which is a less known giant... I zoomed in too much. Big Grove Trees, which is a less known grove of redwoods and giant sequoias. There's only 6 in the whole world, and I've already been to about 3 or 4. So I'm hoping today that it doesn't turn out to be a bust due to this fire. However, I've been driving now for 15-20 miles, and all I see is smoke, and it's very centralized on the south side and north of the American River, which that's where we're at right now. When we get to the top of the ridge, we'll be able to see where the fire's at. But if they have the roads blocked off due to the fire, we're not going to be able to get back there unless we take the back way in. It just depends. But I just wanted to show you the smoke that's lingering. I'd have filmed it earlier, but I was driving on the expressway. A lot of trucks were slowing down. Almost zero visibility. You could only see like 25 feet in front of you. Now at least I can see the trees, but it's still very hazy out. You can see ahead how hazy. It's a big fire. That's why I'm trying to go to the giant sequoias, because a lot of firefighters feel that they're probably going to burn down in the next few years, because fire is the whole new enemy of the Sierras. Yeah, they've gotten fires, but not 50 a year. Not fires that take 40 to 50,000 acres, 100,000 acres before you get it under control. By then, historical sites, redwoods, everything burns down. And these are not going to last much longer, so I got to get to them. I got to see them before they burn down. Unfortunately, that's just a harsh reality. Smoke's clearing up. However, I drove through about 15 miles of it, 20 miles. And as I head west, it's not as prevalent. However, I'm going to be on the other side of these mountains to the west, and we have to go around this huge mountain range, and that's where the fire's at. So I'm a little worried. However, if it's near the American River will halt it, which may be a good thing, stopping it from spreading across the other side to areas like Iowa Hill or Big Grove Trees. But if you look up ahead, now we're hitting another patch of smoke. So this fire might even be north, near Sierraville or Sierra City, which I hope not. That area's been untouched by fire for hundreds of years. But it only takes one lightning strike, dry brush, and it's over. It could spread 20, 30 miles. As it jumps to each area of the forest, the embers get carried in the wind. That's why you don't want to have winds. And then when you don't have the rain, that doesn't help either. So we're heading off into the Forest Hill Divide. The American River, the North American Fork, splits the Sierras. It's giant canyon. It's the Grand Canyon of the High Sierras. Here we go. I could show you up here. Look at all that smoke. That's bad, man. This is what's going to cause global warming. You're burning all the trees, all the smoke is going into the atmosphere. It's not good. We may even have a mini ice age in the future. Playing with the balance of Mother Nature. This is Lord Rick. It's a big fire. Massive. When you drive 15-20 miles and you hit big patches of smoke and there's some areas you can't even see the mountains, that's bad. This is not a small fire. I wouldn't be surprised if the fire comes down to the expressway here and tries to skip over. We've lost 1 million acres of forest, probably a couple million acres worth of forest from forest fires in the Pacific Northwest. And this is a big fire too, which means we'll lose about 20 more miles of forest. Unbelievable. Driving through a forest fire here. Barely see the mountains in some areas. Not going to be able to get scenic photos today. Even in Iowa Hill, might not even be able to see the Forest Hill Divide, which is scenic. But if you can't see it, you can't get the scenic photos. Wow. It's scary when you see this. People lose houses, animals die, historic areas like ghost towns burn down. It's a huge loss for nature, human life. Not even human life, because a lot of times people survive, but they got to abandon their houses or historical sites. It's just, you can't bring those back. This is not a good fire. Not if it stretches this far. It still continues. This is much worse by Truckee. Could barely see by Truckee. But this is not much better. Because this just means it's a massive fire if it traverses this far west. And the north is hazy, the south is hazy. It's a big fire. There's haze up by some 10 to 12,000 foot peaks in the area. Castle Peak you couldn't even see. Well, we'll keep on fighting the good fight. Hopefully we punch through this smoke. And hopefully where we're going today, it's not a fire hazard. But since the smoke is heavily due north and on each side of the expressway, I assume the fire probably hasn't reached the Iowa Hill area. Does not mean we won't be breathing in the ashes and smoke. The smoke can travel hundreds of miles before it dissipates. River we're riding along is dry. This follows the American River up here, and there's no water in it hardly. Can't even see the mountains anymore. Can't even see the mountains. Smoke is lingering everywhere. Can't even see the mountains. Those are all mountains over there. Cannot even see them. This is a bad fire. Miles and miles of smoke. Some areas are worse than others. Look at that. You can barely see the mountains. It's to the north. But we won't be able to get good scenic pictures today. There's just too much haze, too much smoke. far from Roseville and Sacramento. That's bad.